You're in a meeting and everyone agrees. And you feel great about that decision because, of course, you want everyone to feel good about the work ahead. But here's why that instinct is wrong. We think that all conflict is bad, and we want to smooth over those disagreements and avoid tensions and prioritize harmony above everything else. But if you really think about it for a minute, you know that 100% agreement 100% of the time is actually not a good thing, because you want and need more conflict. Because the right kind of conflict doesn't destroy teams, it makes them stronger, more innovative, and more successful. So how do you increase that right kind of conflict so that your team gets more rigorous thinking? Stick with me and I will share 3 strategies to do just that. And I will bet that you have never tried strategy number 3. Hi, I'm Mamie Kanfer Stewart, and welcome to The Modern Manager. Every week, I share strategies and tips to help you be a rockstar manager with a thriving team. So hit that subscribe button below so that you never miss a video. Now, here's the thing that a lot of managers don't realize. When everyone is always agreeing, it's probably because people don't feel safe to speak up. And that means that you're missing out on those really important ideas and risks or perspectives, the insights that could make your team more effective. Think about it like this. If everyone in your meetings is just nodding along, then you might as well be talking to yourself. Instead, we need to create environments where people feel safe to disagree, to push back on ideas, and to offer different perspectives. And research backs this up. Teams that engage in productive conflict consistently outperform those harmonious teams. Now, let me break down 2 types of conflict that you need to understand as a manager and why one of them is the essential type that you need for your team's success. First, there's the personal conflict. This is those criticisms and arguments and frictions and uncivil behavior that makes collaboration uncomfortable and damages relationships. And this is what most of us think of when we think of the word conflict. Personal conflict sounds like, oh, that's a terrible idea, or oh, Tom is so annoying, or you are being unrealistic. And this type of conflict absolutely needs to be addressed. When people attack ideas and behaviors by attacking the person behind them, it shuts down communication and it erodes trust. So you need to confront it. But that's not what we're focusing on today. Today is all about that second type of conflict, task-focused conflict, which is the disagreement about ideas, strategies, approaches. Here, people are debating about the best way forward, and they're challenging assumptions, and they're pressure testing those plans or those projects. Task-focused conflict sounds like, I'm concerned about the timeline of this project. Have we considered what happens if we need a second round of revisions before we go live? Or, I see the benefits of this approach, but I think we're underestimating the resource requirements, and that's concerning. Or, this feels really risky to me. What data do you have to back up your recommendation? This type of conflict doesn't need to be solved. It needs to be leveraged. Because when smart people disagree about the best path forward, and they work through those disagreements respectfully, they almost always end up with better solutions. Think of it like turning a grain of sand into a pearl. You need that pressure, that friction to create something valuable. If you're always dealing with grains of sand, then you're never going to get to that pearl. So, how do you encourage that good kind of conflict while preventing the bad kind? Here are 3 strategies. Strategy number 1, invite pressure testing feedback intentionally. Most of us think that we open the floor to disagreement because we say something like, any thoughts or concerns? But that's not really inviting feedback. Instead, try carving out 5 to 10 minutes and have everyone play devil's advocate. For the next period of time, all we're going to do is share risks, watch-outs, potential problems, unintended consequences, concerns. Then, once we've done that, we're going to sort through them as a group. And then together, you guys can decide which are the red flags that need further conversation or mitigation plans, or you can adjust or adapt your idea or your decision to avoid those potential problems altogether. This gives people permission to disagree while keeping it focused on improving the idea and not attacking it. Strategy number 2, gather input anonymously. People need to feel safe to voice opposition without being judged or seen as being overly negative or consistently wrong. They need to feel psychologically safe, but creating that trust takes time. So try using anonymous feedback tools to gather thoughts. You can use a virtual whiteboard or a Google form or a Slido and have everyone enter their thoughts and concerns. That anonymity helps remove some of that fear while you're building up the psychological safety for people to own their perspectives in the room. I love doing this with teams because you get a lot of thinking quickly, and people are surprisingly honest, especially as they see what others are sharing. Plus, you can reinforce the psychological safety by appreciating openly when people share conflicting perspectives. Something as simple as, "Oh, I'm so happy we surfaced these concerns now while we can still address them, rather than waiting to have to scramble later." Or, "I love seeing so many different perspectives. This is going to help us get to the best decision." Strategy number 3, use AI to get the ball rolling. Sometimes you just need a way to break the ice so that your team members will see that you truly are open to different perspectives. And this is where AI comes in. Just be sure that you are not sharing anything confidential externally and that you're using an AI that your company has already approved. So here's what to do. Share a bit about the decision that you're making or the idea you're debating, and ask your AI to identify risks or areas of concerns or alternatives. And you can do this live in the meeting and then use some of what the AI shares as a starting point for your discussion on how to improve the idea. Then ask the team to share additional issues or alternative perspectives that haven't yet been surfaced. When people see that you respond positively to that first round of watchouts from AI, they'll be more likely to share whatever it is on their mind. So here is your challenge for this week. In your next meeting, try one of these strategies. And then pay attention to what happens. You might be surprised by the insights that come up when you explicitly invite people to disagree. And if you notice personal conflict happening in your meetings, people getting defensive, making it about personalities instead of ideas, address that privately afterwards. Don't let it fester, but also don't embarrass anyone publicly. Remember, if everyone on your team is always agreeing with you, then that's not a sign of great leadership. It's a sign that people are afraid to speak up. And when people don't speak up, you miss out on those diverse perspectives and that critical thinking that lead to better decisions. The best teams are not the ones that never have conflict. They're the ones that know how to have the right kind of conflict and deal with it well. They debate ideas rigorously, they challenge each other's thinking, and they come out of the other side with stronger solutions and deeper trust. Your team has brilliant insights and important perspectives. Your job is to create the conditions where they feel safe to share them, even when, and especially when, they are disagreeing with you. If this video changed how you think about conflict on your team, hit the like button and subscribe. And share it with a manager who might be avoiding those difficult conversations that could actually be making their team stronger. And for more strategies on being an effective manager, visit themodernmanager.com. Until next time, remember, a little friction creates a lot of value. Don't smooth over those disagreements that could actually be helping your team get to their best ideas.